Hey, what is good, everyone? Cause I'm a Fury here. Civilian world, doing jobs. Got both my work shirts in the car. I'm going to part-time job. Job number 2. Actually, it's job number 1. And but of course, if they're not gonna give you part-time, you gotta move on to greener pastures. But if you need the money, you can always go from per diem to part-time like I did. But anyway, I'm the blue-collar gamer. I game when I have to. Game when I have the time to, of course. I got dogs, I got a gym. The health is important. So, anyway, let's get into something real quick. I don't know if anybody's going to log on. This is indeed my first time. I don't know how many people. I don't get much watches on my video. Like I said, I'm a part-time YouTuber, so it's not like much people rock with me on these things. But it's cool. It's cool. I love you guys anyway. Anyway, let's get into the whole thing now. Lately, I've been getting a few responses from my Resident Evil 7 videos. The first one where I'm talking about how it's underselling. It didn't do well in the sales department, and that's been pretty much confirmed. It sold under $500,000 of the expected amount, and they dropped the expected amount, and it still sold $500,000 under that amount. Now, also, I did the other video where I was talking about how it's just not that good, and I stand by that. It's just not that good. I'm sorry, it ain't because of first person view. It's just not that good overall. And if you want to know more about that, I can you can watch that video and I go into detail. But let's talk about the more ironic shit that's going on with that. Look what happened with Resident Evil 7. Look at this. Everybody and their mother blamed Resident Evil 6 for ruining the franchise series. But they did an HD update to Resident Evil 6, and guess what? It sold over 1 million copies. So the game that ruined the franchise, 5 years later, manages to sell over 1 million copies. What really ruined the franchise? Capcom, can you answer that for me? Can you really answer for me what ruined the franchise? Because it damn sure wasn't Part 6. Part 6 Resident Evil game, but it's kind of underrated. People, IGN especially, started this fucking hate parade against the goddamn game. I'm not saying that game is a solid 7. I kid you not. The game is a solid 7 out of 10. But IGN started this tirade about how they hated it, how this, and it caught fire. Unlike a lot of things, a lot of people like to, how can you say, bandwagon. They have no autonomy no more. They puppets. Even if somebody even brought up one of my commenters on my Resident Evil 7 video brought up the fact that these numbers have been artificial. These reviews have been artificially influenced by Capcom themselves, and it's starting to seem that way. The sales speak for themselves. If this was the second coming of Jesus, why isn't it doing that well? Why didn't it by April 27th? It was considered a failure. By April 27th this year, it was considered a failure, but nobody talk about that. And like I said, Resident Evil 6 HD sold over 1 million copies on the Xbox One and the PS4 combined. So, yeah, I guess the haters are silent on that one. But like I said, it ain't the greatest Resident Evil game, and I'm not saying that to dance to both audiences. I actually like Resident Evil 5 a little bit more than it, But my thing is, it has great replay value. It has the mercenary modes, which are great. You know, have you seen the modes for Resident Evil 7? Have you really seen those modes? Like, where you gotta go get Jack food, and you gotta go find wine and all this shit throughout the house. And I'm like, who came up with this party? It had to be a third-party developer. It had to be like an outsourced developer to come up with those mini games and stuff. Like, the game is not that great. But anyway, that's my first video here, and I'm seeing that this live connection really works. I can come here and I can really speak going forth. If there's some gaming news that really gets my attention, I can do a video very quickly with this, and I like that type of format, you know. But nobody's gonna talk about how 6 was supposed to be this series at its lowest, and guess what? Part 7 still hasn't outsold 5 or 6. Go figure. Anyway, y'all, as usual, I'm gonna get back to driving once I get out of this gridlock, which is very soon. So let me get back to the road. So remember, as always, keep watching what you want, keep gaming the way you want, keep being you. Because I'm a Fury. I'm out on the work. Peace out.